The biggest thing that you can do is contact your elected officials and tell them to protect public education and share why public education matters to you. We know that Trump has been threatening to close the Federal Department of Education, and I think that there is a big misunderstanding about what the Department of Education actually does. We have heard Trump and a lot of his allies decrying the Federal Department of Education because of what they call woke ideology. But here's a newsflash: the Federal Department of Education has nothing to do with curriculum, but they do have a lot to do with funding and special education and civil rights protections for students with disabilities. There is a lot of funding that comes from the federal DOE to the states. Now, it has been reported that Linda McMahon sent out an email to her department with the subject line, "Our department's last mission." She is on board with Trump's idea of shuttering the Department of Education. Now, what would this mean for Michigan? Estimates have shown that if the federal DOE were to go away, Michigan would stand to lose about $2 billion in education funding. Our state rainy day fund, which is money that we put away for use in case of emergencies, is at its highest level that it ever has been in state history. Currently, the rainy day fund has a balance of $2.7 billion. If we were to lose $2 billion in federal funding to our state education funding, that would almost immediately wipe out our rainy day fund in one fell swoop, just to backfill education funding for only 1 year. Unlike the federal government, state governments cannot run deficits. We are constitutionally required to pass balanced budgets. 42% of our state budget comes from federal funding, which, by the way, is not a handout. It is not a grant. It is our tax dollars that we pay to the federal government that comes back into our state to fund programs. So if you want to protect education funding, the biggest thing you can do is let your officials know that this is non-negotiable for you, that you want to keep the Federal Department of Education and you want to keep every single federal dollar that we pay to Washington coming back into our state for our kids.